Hey guys, it's Courtney and welcome to Pretty Blonde Banter mini podcast. So I'm so excited for today's podcast because I have my very first guest on here. So let's get right into it. The guest I have on today is a friend of mine, and I want to ask him 10 questions to get a man's POV on certain things. So let's grab him and get started. All right, so we're starting off with my first guest on my podcast. Do you want me to say your name?
Oh,
Like
of
your
course.
first
Go
name?
ahead. Yeah.
All right, so I have Rob on here with me. You're my first person.
Wow, it's quite an honor, Courtney.
All right, so you already know that I have 10 questions for you. And are you ready to answer them?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. How old are you and what is your relationship status?
What's my relationship status? So I'm
Yeah,
52. I am I am single, divorced.
nice. Me too. All
Mhm.
right, so we're going to get into some deeper questions, not just those little get to know me ones. We want some deep stuff, okay?
Let's do it.
All right. What did love look like in your house growing up?
Yeah. So like I was saying, like my sister was older, so she moved out probably when I was like I don't know, like 10 or so. So for most of my childhood, I was pretty much like an only child.
Mm-hmm.
Parents, kind of like left me alone to do their own thing. They weren't really like the best nurturers, if I could, say that. I mean, they're great parents and they care about me. And I would say that they really didn't do. Um, they weren't like super affectionate with each other. Like I don't
Hmm.
even think I've seen them kiss a lot. Now that I look back and think about it.
Wow.
Yeah, like I never caught them like making out under the mistletoe or anything like that. You know,
Well,
like
that might be a good thing. That can cause some damage.
yeah, and like I just don't think, right? Like I don't think I saw that, and I think later in life I learned that like how you are in a relationship is really like your parents,
Mhm.
particularly even your dad, has a huge influence as you as a man of like how you know how you approach women,
Yeah.
right? And like how you learn to treat women, how you learn to like care for women is based on what you see. And like my dad probably wasn't the best role model. So I have no
Actually,
I have no idea how my dad landed my mom. He's a pretty lucky dude, I would say, extremely.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. But I think I turned out okay considering like the poor role models that I had.
That's really good.
Yeah,
All right. What does a perfect relationship look like to you?
yeah. So I guess it's taken me a long time to figure this out.
Hmm.
But and I have not always had like the best sense of this, and I think I guess I got a little bit older. I kind of know now. But the perfect relationship is, I mean, sure, like physical attraction is important, but
Hmm.
like all that stuff fades, right?
Yes.
Like you're pretty attractive and stuff. Am I allowed to say that? I think I am, right?
Oh, but thank you.
But like, like 40, 50 years from now, your body's gonna look different.
Yeah.
And mine is too. And so like in the end of your days, like all you have left is like the person like that you're with.
Hmm.
Right? And like are they your everything? Are they willing to sacrifice things for you? Are they prioritizing you? Are you first? I mean, with a lot of like relationships today, people have kids and stuff, and obviously your kids are important, but there has to be like that feeling of priority.
I agree. I see that with so many. Like the
Yeah.
like being a single parent now, I used to experience this when I wasn't a parent was these guys, they'd want to put like their kids had to be number one. That was the number one priority. And I was thought it was just not quite right like that. Like, yes, of course your kids come first in a sense, but so does your partner.
Right.
It can't, you have to have that dynamic for them to look up to. You have to have that dynamic first, to lead and everything. They can't
Exactly
be
right.
solely your number one.
100%. So like if now like my kids are still pretty young, and so like my future partner, like, I would think that they would want to see me with the person that's important to me.
Hmm.
So, if like holding hands, and like, so like the examples I gave before, like with my dad, didn't really show affection.
Yeah.
And so my son is only going to learn that from me,
Hmm.
the person that I'm with.
Exactly.
And so, but yeah, I think it's a mutual appreciation, kind of like just like a sacrifice, and just, being willing to, do whatever that you need to for that person. It's a little old fashioned, I suppose, but, like, you're supposed to, right? Like, there's,
I
if you
agree.
really, you do your homework and you find out there's a good match, and you
Hmm.
spend a lot of time, and you see like the red flags and the green flags or whatever, and
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
when and then you go through that whole process, and you find that, okay, this is a really great person, and then you just have to just give it your all. Like, I'm super picky, and so,
Hmm.
people, like, they'll say, "Oh, Rob, you should date like 5 or 6 times a month," and like that's just like so much work.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I mean, that's what people like say, and I'm like, I don't know, I
Ah,
can't do that.
that's
Yeah, I
insane
can't.
to me.
Yeah. Plus, like, I think I'm not like. I mean, I think I'm smart, but I'm not like super smart that way. I'm like, oh wow, did I? I would trip up on the stories, and so it's just easier to focus on like one person, I think, and try to make that work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like fun, right? It has to be fun, it has to be easy. Conversation has to be like, and then how you approach conflict is a big deal too. Like,
Ooh,
you know,
yes, I agree.
you know, like, so you're always gonna there's always gonna be stuff that you're upset about, and it's like, how do you approach it? Do you approach it as friends? And that's what. So, well, I guess that's how I would describe like a perfect relationship.
I like it.
You good? Okay. Good
All
to know.
right. You kind of just touched on this a little bit, but what is your green flag? The thing that makes you instantly like someone?
I think, I enjoy when, like, I mean, there's not one green flag. I suppose there's a bunch, but like, um, I enjoy when like a woman can just be themselves, and kind of make fun of me, right? Because I think I'm easy to make fun of. Yeah, I do. I enjoy that, or like just to bust my balls a little bit, and you
Nice.
know, yeah, I do. I dig that, and it just shows like character, because I think it's, you're supposed to have fun, and
If a woman can bust your balls, then
yeah,
that means that she's totally comfortable, and that's a good thing.
yeah. And you're right. I think that's one way to look at it, and maybe that always just feels good, like, because I think inherently women have like a guard up, because
Hmm.
we're all broken in some way,
Yeah.
and you're right. I guess when you break my balls, um, then you're comfortable, and that feels
Hmm.
good.
Oh yeah. Here's another like deeper one.
Mm.
What does providing mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, in the terms of like a relationship,
Hmm.
um, yeah, like, I think Charlie Kirk said this pretty good. Um, like, there's, a woman should never have to pay for anything.
Hmm.
Um, and, there should never be a consequence to, dating, um, financial consequence of dating anybody.
Yeah.
So, and like providing is, um, obviously more than just like dates, but it's also like providing comfort and shelter, and if like you're like really serious and you get engaged, like you're all in,
Hmm.
and just you cover everything, not just financially but emotionally. You cover that person, um, in so many ways. You cover them, like, for their problems. And so providing is much more than just like finances. It's like being like their rock, right? Like, so,
Yes.
like, like someone that you can just call to, and like, hey, I've got a problem, and, that's providing. And so it's a lot more than just like finances. It's like providing emotional support, and, physical support too, I suppose, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so many people get stuck on that financial aspect that
Uh,
they don't go beyond that.
yeah, very true. And also, like if they have, like it's also if they have like children too. Like my last wife, she was she had like three children, and
Hmm.
so I treated them like they're my own, right? And so I provided to them and with love and affection in every way that I could. So I think it's you have to kind of just kind of cover all the bases.
Hmm. I agree. Do you feel like dating apps have made men more or less confident?
Oh wow.
Have you used any dating apps?
I have. I think they're
Okay.
miserable though. Um,
Yes.
they're so miserable. And then the thing is, like, I mean, I think I do pretty well for myself in the real world, and probably that's probably where I've always I excelled. And like the dating apps, like there's usually like 10 dudes for every like one girl, and so like this one lady at work was telling me that like her phone would like blow up with like all these like inquiries and stuff. And so I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a lost cause. So I've done it, but I mean, I guess the nice thing is that if you do connect with someone there, I think I did Bumble. I like the idea of like women
Mhm.
choosing. There's like low pressure there.
Oh. Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard of that one.
Um,
I
um,
never I never tried anything like that. I did Facebook dating for a
oh, really?
very short period of time and I mean it was
Yeah.
I don't know.
Didn't work out for you?
No, I don't know. I mean I've met a few like really great people off from there, but a majority was just scary.
Yeah. And plus, like, you don't really know. It's like really weird. And like, so, and then I think the one time I did, was like, which got me off Bumble, there was this woman that seemed really interesting and smart. She went to Columbia University,
Hmm.
and then she was a scammer.
Really?
Yeah, she soaked me in. Like, I mean, I obviously I didn't. There was no financial, like,
Hmm.
like basically it was very convincing, and it was like kind of like we were chatting for a while and getting ready to meet and stuff. And then all of a sudden she's like, would you consider like financial investments and stuff? I'm like, oh my goodness, how did
Are
this
you
happen?
serious?
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my God.
like block me. I'm blocking you right now. So yeah. So
Oh
I think
God.
I would just rather like meet you in the like bowling or out, in a restaurant or somewhere, or even
Yeah.
if like
Out in
volunteering
the
somewhere.
wild.
Yeah, really like meet you out. Yeah, that's just a better way. But I mean, I think today in today's day and age, they're necessary, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
A lot of
That's
people.
like the unfortunate thing. All right. What's the biggest lesson a past relationship taught you about yourself?
Biggest lesson.
Yeah.
So there was a time when I was pretty selfish, and I learned. There's a relationship I had in college, and I basically um, prioritized my friends over her when she really needed me. Like it was she medically needed me, and yeah, she ended up breaking up with my ass, and I was like heartbroken because like when you have something special like that, like really
Yeah.
special, and then you ruin it,
Mm.
like that's like it's like something like that's really nice that you have, and all of a sudden it breaks. Like I couldn't understand why I couldn't put it back together, and like all the charm in the world didn't convince her to come back to me. And so um, I think that was really just a lesson in um, like what it means to be like I guess selfish, and since then I've
Hmm.
become a bit more humble. That was quite a while ago. So
Yeah. Did you ever get to like make it up to her at all?
I did actually, maybe 15 years later.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I made like love tapes, and I wrote her letters and with like cologne on it and everything, and she wasn't taking me back. And then like 15 years later, I stalked her, everywhere I could, and like she was on LinkedIn or something like that, and finally I found her,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "Holy cow!" Like, and I'm like, "Is there a way I can call you?" And I called her, and then I said, "I just want to really apologize, like when you had surgery, on your knee, and I wasn't there." And she forgave me. She's like, "Oh, it was no big deal. You were just a complete like asshole." And I'm like, that's nothing is more humbling than having
Yeah.
that you really like the
You're an asshole.
yeah, really it's just like brings it to your core.
I can
And
imagine.
and then afterwards, like I really wasn't like interested in her. I think I had evolved
Mm-hmm.
mentally. Like she was just a different person, but at the time, like she was the person that was awesome for me. But no,
Mm-hmm.
we never continued anything. But I did apologize, and she accepted it. 15
That's
years later.
good.
Yeah,
That's good. Better late than never.
that's right.
What is a romantic gesture that actually means something to you?
I think like I'm like kind of like I'm like a words of affirmation guy,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't know. I like to hear the words. um, and so like let's just say I was telling you about like this big meeting I had,
Mm-hmm.
like stressing about it, and um, and like I got like a text that was like, "Hey, good luck in that meeting," or something like that, or if I'm flying somewhere and I got a text like, "Hey, I hope you have a safe flight."
Yeah.
It's I think just knowing like the connection that you care or you're like thinking about me means more.
Yes.
Um,
Like those little things sometimes mean the most.
yeah, I think it's a little thing. So like maybe a kiss on the cheek when you don't expect it. You know, and that's
Yeah,
to me like all that kind of stuff is awesome.
exactly. I can kind of relate to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's just those little moments. Those are the things that like mean the most to me as well. It doesn't need to be like these big grand showy things. Just those little everyday life things.
yeah, I
Those what
agree.
matter. All right, let's get a little bit spicy. What are
Ooh.
three of your biggest turn-ons?
Oh wow. Really, am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
So okay, I think number one is perfume.
Wow,
Um,
I was not expecting that one.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a turn on. Like maybe I'll kind of like wedge it in here, but like so, like perfume is like if you were to wear perfume on a date,
Hmm.
like I would, I would probably smell it on me. I imagine
Hmm.
to some degree because you're around me for a while,
Yeah.
and that's like an essence. Like I can smell that like even after, and so I don't know.
Yes.
I think it's just like it's almost like a label. Like this is you,
Yes.
and I'll probably always associate that smell like with you.
Oh yeah, my
Um,
friend, she always says that her perfume is like her calling card. You know?
yeah, I think so. And I don't know what kind you wear, but yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's a turn on, but like I do like that. I think it's like physical touch. Like if there's a like an accidental like hand on the knee or something like that, or
Hmm.
it's like that kind of close connection is a pretty big turn on for me.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, just like just like letting me know that you're close.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big turn on. I've got one more I have to do.
You got one more.
One more turn on. I think I'm gonna go with I think like the hair flip that you guys do. You guys do like this cute little hair
Oh
flip where
yeah. Oh, I
you
know
play
what you're
with,
talking about.
you play with your
Instantly.
hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yes.
like that gets that gets the fire going a little bit. That's pretty cool.
Yes. I call that one like the 90s hair flip.
Is that how you do it? You flip it like to the left or whatever.
Yeah,
If you're
yes.
playing with your hair and like and I'm looking at you and I think it's all that like all that chemical reaction that happens, like when you're close to somebody. I
Yeah.
think just being in close proximity
Yep.
of them is like a big turn on too.
Can you tell me something super random about yourself?
Sure. Um, I have a BB on my right eye.
Really?
I do, yeah. I was you weren't expecting that.
I was
I
not. This is going to be a good story though.
yeah,
I
so
can already tell.
I was always so I joined the army in my junior in high school.
Hmm.
I wanted to go off and kill bad guys.
Yeah.
And so long story short, we would do like BB gun fights. Like we'd play war, and somebody, yeah. And so we were winning this one fight, and then some guy like shot me in the eye. We were and I had my goggles off, and my friend
Oh.
next to me, like he saw like all the blood on my hands, and he was like, oh my gosh, like you've been shot in the eye. And then we stopped fighting for a little bit, and there was like almost like a police lineup. And I wanted to know who shot me because like they were not obeying the three. You're supposed to do 3 pump rules, and so
Uh-huh.
this dude clearly shot me with 10 pumps at close
Oh.
range. And
Oh.
so long story short, we did this police lineup. I'm like, all right, who fucking shot me? And no one wanted to admit it, right?
Uh-huh.
And so long, and then I'm like, okay, who shot me? And then my friend Anthony comes clean. He's like, Rob, I shot you, but please don't sue me. My dad's business isn't doing so well this year. And
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna sue you. I just want to know who shot me. So and then we finished the fight, and then the next morning, um, my mom asked me. She was like, what happened to, or no, like that night, she's like, what happened to your eye?
Mm-hmm.
And you had to like lie on the spot, and I was like, oh, I think I jumped into like a thorn bush, which is a terrible lie, like the
A
worst lie
thorn
ever.
bush.
Yeah, who jumps in a thorn bush,
God.
right?
Oh my
And my mom
God.
was like, she's like, okay. And so I went to bed, and then I woke up the next morning, and I felt like I was like scratching my eye or whatever, or rubbing my eye. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
holy crap, I think I have a BB in my eye. I thought for sure it just glazed me. And then,
Oh my God.
yeah, I know you weren't expecting this. And so,
No.
yeah. And so we went to like the emergency room and all everything else. And the doctor put like this big, like, I don't know, like crystal ball in my eye with like a bunch of like gel or whatever. And it was like really
Mm-hmm.
weird. He looked into my eye, and he's like, well, you've got yourself a souvenir. And I'm like, why is that?
Oh.
And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, I guess it would cause damage to remove it. Because like, that little spot below your eyeball, there's like that holds your eyeball in place.
Uh-huh.
They'd have to cut that. So it hit
Oh
the
my
bone.
God.
Yeah, it hit the bone, and then like kind of like ricocheted up into like the cartilage. And so they didn't want to cut the cartilage because then I'd have like a droopy eye, Courtney. And you can imagine that if like I had that surgery, it'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy's got a droopy eye, and so that wouldn't really be good for my dating life either. But
No, that'd be highly unfortunate.
but the good news though, if you're ever out with me and I can't have an MRI, it
Yeah.
just as no like a medical thing, yeah, because the MRI will superheat the BB, and it's
Jeez.
pretty bad. Yeah,
I was just gonna ask you like how that affects you going through like
yeah.
freaking metal detectors or some stuff.
Metal detectors are fine. Everything else is fine, but I can't have an MRI. So if you ever became my emergency contact, it's just
Good
FYI.
to know. Good to know. All right. Well, thank you so much for being my very first guest on my podcast.
Oh, you're so welcome, Courtney. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Pretty Blonde Banter. And thank you to Rob for being my very first guest on my podcast. It means the world to me. So thank you. And stay tuned because I have a couple more guests lined up. And we're going to be asking them some questions and getting their POVs. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, or a wonderful evening. All right, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.